Now, strong results from Safaricom there, of course, that came without a surprise. M-Pesa growing by over 158%, broadband data 97.7%. What's your analysis of those results?
Well, indeed, we did expect there to be a reduction in terms of our ARPU, which is the voice-related, and to go into non-voice-related income. I think Safaricom has been very active in going into the M-Pesa and of course the data, as you mentioned, and these have really brought in a huge increase. We were expecting it, but it is actually a good thing to see that with that they have actually decided to also give double the dividend payout, which is of course made to make the investors happy, because last time they did complain that they felt that it was a bit too little.
Mm-hmm. Now, as I mentioned earlier, of course, it was a main feature in today's trading. Goldman Sachs earlier in the year valued Safaricom at 6 shillings and 40 cents. We are yet to see it cross the 6 shillings mark. How did the share price react today?
Well, we have two issues at play here. There's investors who feel that, for example, if the books will close in September and then the dividends will be paid in December, there's quite a bit of a time lag there. So some investors have sort of exited so that they can invest elsewhere and come back just before they can get the dividend. So we've seen quite a bit of supply today, which did have the downward pressure. Of course, investors who saw the results as positive brought in the demand, which also put up upward pressure. So we did see it play at around between 4 shillings and 60 cents and about 5 shillings and 40 cents or something like that. Mm-hmm. So I think there's those two issues at play, and I think that it's all dependent on what investors are expecting. If they're getting in for the dividend, then we're going to see a lot of local investors taking more interest now that they've seen the direction in which Safaricom is going, but we did see quite a bit of foreign exit today.
Now, just looking at their data growth, it's coming at a time when companies such as Access Kenya is ailing from boardroom wars. What does this mean in terms of focus for Access Kenya? Do they have to change their game, seeing as Safaricom is now coming into what has been their main part of that pie?
Well, they do need to shape up. Safaricom has a lot of muscle. We've heard that Safaricom is going to go into a lot of the ISP, the villages, the digital villages that the government is doing, which means Safaricom is going to have the upper hand, in getting data and internet, or let's say IT-based products to the ground, and this means that anybody else out there needs to take note of that. They have the muscle, they have the ability, they have the money to do that. So I think whoever is in the data business needs to shape up and take note that if they don't, Safaricom will become dominant.